Friend in Your Pocket Conversations with you, Hope Nation. And there goes Tay Tay. Hey! She left. All right, you guys. Ooh, she's okay. Okay, you guys. So I just want to start it off with saying you already have more than you need. Oftentimes we believe that we don't have enough. We aren't enough, and we overindulge in people, places, and things. Whether it be clothing, whether it be food, whether it be drugs, alcohol. Drugs and alcohol is the same to me. Over helping, overdoing, just doing too much. And I also want to just, because it's just a relevant issue in my household, addiction. And people go to addiction for various reasons. And one of the reasons that, in my experience, is because people don't think what they're doing is enough. Or people don't care. Or, they feel unaccomplished. They're feeling sorry for themselves. And they sink deep and deep into addiction. And we're losing people every day because of addiction. Because of this false reality that we live in, that you aren't enough the way that you are. That you need the big car, you need the big house, you need all the friends, you need to be at every party. You need. And we constantly feed this beast of needing. Some of us are successful because that was built out of a necessity from when you was a child. If you didn't have enough as a child, then you tend to hoard the things that you didn't have as a child. So whether it be attention, affection, money, power, whatever that thing was that you lacked as a child, we seek it out as young adults and adults. And those who can't succeed often turn to drugs because they can't fill that void. And I just want to shout out anybody who has overcome an addiction, because it is one of the hardest things to do, to trick your mind back to a place where it doesn't need to be medicated. It doesn't need that thing to function anymore. So I want to personally just shout my mother out. Yay! How many years have you been?
21 years.
21 years. And I hate when now I'm 21 years clean. People that don't do drugs is dirty too. So I don't like the clean aspect of that. It just sounds like you're so dirty when you're doing drugs. And everybody ain't dirty that do drugs. Doctors do drugs. Lawyers do drugs. Police officers use drugs. Clergy people use drugs. And you wouldn't say that they were dirty, right, if you saw them. So I want to kind of get rid of that word clean. But 21 years sober and having a sober mind, and that's amazing. And whoever, if you out there and you have conquered an addiction, shout out to you, because it's not easy. I know I have an addiction. Well, when I was young, I used to drink, but my addiction is the need for helping everybody. So every little broken person that I could find or that found me, I would wind up helping. So I've been really good at kind of breaking away from that and just getting more into myself and using that energy, because the days of receiving energy that I don't deserve are over. If I don't deserve someone's energy, I just completely cut the conversation off. I walk away. I'm real good at that now. I used to think people were crazy. Like, why that person just walked away? The person is still talking. I'm like, what happened? They knew that they didn't deserve to get this nonsense. And I've really entertained a lot of bullshit in my life. Sorry, Tay. I've entertained so much of it. I think if any of us calculated the hours and the numbers, I probably could have got 3 PhDs by now. And being like super duper uber wealthy. So I want to challenge you all to not accept energy that you do not deserve. Right. So that's how I want to start it off today. Sanaya.
Yeah.
Millennial woman. Have you ever been able to cut off, because you go through a lot. How are you able to cope with energy that you don't deserve? Do you know that you don't deserve every energy or force thrown at you?
Yeah, because some stuff it's not even my problem.
Right.
It's not. It's not. But somehow I'm always the one that get called. So
Right. So
I kind of feel like I have to help because like it's still your family.
yeah.
So it's kind of hard to find that balance. But I think I've been kind of better.
Yeah.
Things have slowed down a little bit. I don't always get a crazy phone call.
Yeah. That's cool. So do you think that's an important coping mechanism? Like if you had to talk to like a teenager or another millennial woman or a guy, do you feel like that's a real issue? Getting overly involved into stuff that doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this is your family. You have to be.
Yeah. And since she doesn't really hang out with a lot of girls or whatever, so if you were in a girl clique, you probably would be inundated with mess.
Other people's mess, yeah.
Other people's mess, absolutely. Andre, big Andre, how do you cope with other people's mess?
I don't. I just let them talk.
That's why I asked him, because he just does it. He don't put up with nothing. Well, Papa don't take no mess. That is this man right here. I don't know how he does it. I can't do it. I'm working towards being a better, but he has mastered the art of you not getting in his zone for nothing. What about you, Moose?
What is the question again?
What?
The question was
Basically,
how you block people from stealing your energy?
Yes, there you go.
Oh, me, I get my own world where I don't call nobody, link with nobody.
He's another one who's not really overly involved in romances and whatnot.
Yeah, I go on hiatus.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't do it on purpose. It's just, I sometimes just don't feel like talking.
He's a Cancer also, so you already know the vibes.
Or,
what about you, Tracy?
I just don't know. I don't know. I'll you to death until you realize that you ain't gonna get too far with the conversation.
So you basically put up communication blockers.
Yeah, I don't want to hear all that.
Yeah. What about you, Rashard? And you can't have that answer because I see you counseling session all the time. So is that an issue for you, like overly helping people or listening, entertaining nonsense?
Like helping them in what way? Like just
help. It's like listening. Because helping, listening is helping.
I'll offer advice. But only for those that I like, that I care about. Like, that I know.
They over there.
Oh. Yeah. I typically offer advice or do counseling sessions. For people that I may probably feel sorry for.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the situations I had the luxury of not having to experience.
Yeah.
So I'm able to give or try to give a positive outlook on the situation. But outside of that, that's it.
That's it?
But yeah, it's not many people I do that for.
Okay.
So.
What about you, Mom?
I listen to some people sometimes, but not all the time. Because if it's not concerning me, I don't need to be involved in it.
My name is Bennett and she ain't in it. Well, yeah, that has been an issue for me. I mean, I'll get all involved in it to where my feelings are hurt or feelings get in it, and I don't know why. I think I'm an empath. And I know I'm an empath. I can literally feel other people's like pain and stuff like that. Because it started, when I used to say my butt used to hurt, like if somebody was hurt, I can literally feel a tinge in my butt. I can't explain it, but it started happening like in my late 20s. And I started feeling, and that's kind of bad, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to keep taking on people's energy. So I do a lot of stuff. I take a lot of spiritual baths, and I carry my crystals around, and I recharge them, and I do different things so I can kind of cleanse myself of other people's energy. But it's very, very important that you find coping mechanisms to where you're not overly doing stuff. Because if you ever notice, like when you're about to have a breakthrough in your life, and you can feel when you're getting ready to have a breakthrough, people are saying yes to you, the sun is shining shinier for you. Like you can feel when you're having a zippity-doo-dah day, right? And when things are kind of happening, And then what'll happen is you'll get that phone call. Or you'll get that person that's in a crisis. And it's like, and it doesn't like really add up to you. Or like a bill will happen. If you have extra money, your refrigerator break down, right? We talked about that before. And then boom, there goes the extra money out the window, right? What happens is I don't want to say the D word, the devil, but here we go. He knows your brand of honey. So when things are getting ready to open up for you, the universe will send things in your way as a test. Are you going to receive this positive energy that you're feeling wholeheartedly? Or are you going to put your life on pause again and help this other person? Or listen to this conversation, try to solve this issue. And it's usually with people that you have been there with before. It's not like no one new. It's somebody you've gone down that road with. And you have to say, you know what? If you've been standing still for 20 years, 15 years, 5 years, then you don't want to change. And those people usually come back into your life when you're about to have a breakthrough. So if you get that strange phone call from somebody you haven't heard from in months and years, and you feeling good on this side, I'm advising you don't take the phone call. Don't go deep with that person because they were sent, spiritually sent, to catapult you back into time and block your blessing. I know this for sure because it didn't happen to me so many times in my life when I'm like, things are happening for me, things are opening up, I'm about to, have that breakthrough, and then here I go helping that same old person again. And when you sit with yourself like, yo, this person that had the same complaint for the last 15 years, like, you standing still right with them. So it's a good time to kind of cut that off. Not saying cut the person out your life, but you got to change the conversation. If the person is still talking about that and you still listening, you just as guilty as they are. Because you as a good friend or whatever should say, you know what, we've been having this conversation. Let's stop. Let's change. And guess what? They ain't going to call you no more. They're going to call somebody else, or they're going to drop the situation, or because it's not that serious for them. I don't even know, I don't even think they know why they're even calling you. Because you can't really help them. All you can really do is listen. So when you're feeling the breakthrough, be mindful that those crazy phone calls will come. So that's why I want to start the show. Keep the faith, keep pushing. So game preparations. Today's Juneteenth, by the way. June 19th, 1865. The slaves were free in like 1863, something like that. Emancipation Proclamation. That's a tongue twister, right? But in Texas and other places, they still had slaves. And it's because the slaves didn't know that they were slaves. And it wasn't until the Confederacy fell and the generals were going around to the different states and like, hey, you gotta let the slaves go because the Confederacy is gone. We're now Union. And so they had to let those slaves go. And on that day, the slaves celebrated. Now, they said something about some watermelon. They drink watermelon juice. So people will drink either watermelon juice or strawberry soda, something red. And then you can have your Juneteenth beans, what they call the Marcus Garvey beans. And it's your red beans, your black beans, and your green beans. And, you just have celebrations with barbecues and parades and this and that. Actually, Martin Luther King's The People's March was coordinated on June 19th so it can bring more awareness because it was dying down. So those slaves, though, the slave masters wanted to keep the slaves and said, oh, we'll pay you. And them slaves was like, oh, hell no. So it caused something called the scatter. And the scatter is when all the slaves were being left free, a lot of them went and searched for their families and because they wanted to be reunited with the people. So that's how so many people wound up in these different states or whatever. So they were killed trying to cross the river. They were dismembered. They were lynched. They were mistreated because these slave masters did not want to let these slaves go. So just because they were emancipated, they would still kill them because they didn't want to let go of their property. And did you know that there's I guess in the South or whatever, people that's deep in the South and deep into Southern culture, a lot of women don't want to be called Miss or Aunt. because that's what they were called in slavery days. So one of my friends is like, don't call me Miss, like Miss Mary or Miss Judy or June. You call me either by Miss and my last name or just my first name. Because, or don't, if I'm not your aunt, don't call me aunt. You know, so that makes sense. Aunt Jemima, Miss Mamie, you know, Uncle Ben, you know. So it makes a lot of sense, you know. So it's just Uncle Tom. It's just one of those things you know, like, wow, you don't pay attention to, and when you don't grow people that's rooted in the Deep South culture, and people not only that's not rooted in the Deep South culture, but don't celebrate those pivotal moments in Black history, you don't know these things. So I just thought that was pretty cool. So
what's ironic?
What's
So
that?
they had the slave reparation hearing.
They did it on purpose.
Oh, okay.
They did it on purpose. So Takashi Coates, he was there. Danny Glover was there. Cory Booker was there. A lot of people are speaking. You got some whites on the inside says no. We gave them a Black president, and we did these. Yeah, we did. A senator actually said that. Mitch McConnell. Yeah. And
so that's payback?
But we voted for a Black president.
Right.
Not you didn't give us anything, right? He wasn't like he was a CEO. Well, America is a corporation.
enough already. Y'all free. So
right.
Already.
So you know, there's a number. There's a number. They've worked out the numbers. They know exactly how much each family should get for reparation. And this has been an argument for years. They just haven't done it. And so.
Can we get some?
Absolutely. Y'all last name is Reynolds. Well, and y'all Frasers, I know y'all were slaves. Right? We were slaves. My family, no, I'm being serious. I mean, Reynolds is not an African name. And that comes from the tobacco company who makes your cigarettes. That's why I hate cigarettes so much. I guess. You know, intrinsically, maybe that's why I hate cigarettes. I don't know.
Abraham ain't it's not an African name either.
Well, it's a Hebrew name at least.
Yeah, well, your last name Reynolds now, so you should be
yeah, she'll get a reparation. She had Reynolds children. She married a Reynolds. So Juneteenth, should we get reparations? I remember hearing this argument in the mid-90s. Russell Simmons was spearheading the campaign for reparations. They were marching at City Hall, marching in Gramercy Park. He was all for it, and people laughed at him because people didn't understand the concept of reparations. He was way ahead of his time. And I don't care what they said he did or whatever the case may be, but Russell Simmons was always on the front line for Black people. I don't know what his motivation was. I don't even care. But the fact that when I was that age, I think I had to be late teen when I discovered what reparations was, that helped me. It shaped my mind. So thank you, Russell Simmons, for even putting that in the atmosphere, because I know I'm not the only one who understood it at that moment. Why Jews in this country get reparations, billions, trillions of dollars, and for an atrocity that took place outside the United States. And the people who were enslaved here, beat here, killed here, tortured here, separated, built this country. We don't get a damn thing but a criminal sentence, felonies, and whatnot. And we're still mistreated and we're still mishandled, you know. So reparations are due our people, because that can afford us better living conditions, better education for our children, better psychological, you know, because I question why Takashi Coates was there. And if you don't know who he is, you know, look him up. He wrote a really good book, and you see it in all the shows, you know, all the Black conscious shows. You'll see the book sitting on the side or whatever. And it just basically talks about the effects of slavery and what it have on our generation now. You know, so it's not a far-fetched thing why we need reparations. And I think that's why the Jewish community has been so empowered to own land and own businesses, because they've been supported the entire time. We have built everything we built as Black people with zero support. Zero. We get no support. We have to fight for everything we want. And when we fight for it, it's like, what's wrong with them? Why they always whining? Why they so lazy? Why they want a handout? But meanwhile, white people are on food stamps and public assistance way more than Black people. But we are looked at as being lazy, and we don't want to do anything. So, you know, these holidays, and this is why Juneteenth is only a national holiday in 46 states. And Hawaii, the Dakotas, and Montana will not even recognize it, which is absurd. And this is why it hasn't gone to the federal level, because it'll bring too much awareness and too much consciousness and too much conversation. But it's a conversation that needs to take place. So, happy Juneteenth, people. Where we have a time. So, now, oh wow, I've been talking for a long time. Gay reparations. Do I think gay people need reparations? I'm going to say no.
Who put that? Like, who
It's a real thing.
Who's spearheading that?
Yeah, they trying to,
It's
they
a real
trying
thing.
to pass that. Yeah.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no for a couple of reasons. I'm going to say no because there's a lot of black gay people. So if you're black and gay, you're going to get a reparation anyway. Then I'm going to say gay people make way more money than your average citizen, because they go into fields that gross a lot of money. They're very successful people. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. So if the argument is, oh, because I was gay, I wasn't able to get a job, I was discriminated against, when gay people run all your major movie studios, all of your clothing stores, gay people run a lot of the world. That's why this Me Too movement and the LGBTQ and this big celebration for Pride Month, a bigger celebration that we have for even Black history, which makes absolutely no sense to me. I know gay people have been killed and all of that, but Black people have been just destroyed. The Black family has been destroyed. And Black History Month comes in with a whimper and leaves in a whisper. That doesn't make any sense. That has to change. So before I would say this group needed reparation, we need to start with the founders of America, which is Black people. So I'm not for gay reparations. I can't put nobody before myself. I'm sorry. We've done that for too long. That's what this whole conversation is about. Putting yourself first.
You gonna stand on that?
Stand. 10 toes down. Anybody have any thoughts?
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, gay reparations. Oh, wow. And
Good.
yeah, it's just a lot going on. Actually, I have on my glasses. They are gay pride colors, so I do support the movement. But one thing has to come first, So sorry.
Pushing that hard.
Yeah, they really are. They're scared. Corporations are literally scared of gay people. And why can't Black people have that same effect? People are scared of gays, people are afraid of Jews, and no one's afraid of the Black person. I find that strange.
We don't put our foot down enough.
No, we don't. And when we do, they shoot it off. Just the way it is. Do you have a tam tip before I go any further?
No.
No, it's okay. No tam tips? Okay. Here go the tip. Open up a business. Do for yourself, especially if you're Black and living in America. You want to start your own business. That's how you take back the power. You start something. You build it, you cultivate it, you till it, and you don't sell it. You keep it. Make them come to you. Okay? Huh? That's right, our grandparents. My grandmother, they knew the art of building up a store in your own community and thriving. How long? 40-something years? How long they been there? Talk to them.
Wow, something like that.
Tell them where the store is at.
Oh, it's in North from Banford.
No, talk up. Tell them. It's Juneteenth. Support Black business.
It is in North New Jersey on Branford Street. It's called Hamida's All Body Shop.
That's right.
Check it out.
Go check it out. That's all you got. Okay, so
All of
Yeah.
those.
go ahead, Ma. You tell them. Look, I'm stalling because I have to make sure I got all my storage. Okay, so I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. Oh, and going back to helping people, meet new friends, meet new people. Just do it like Nike. It's important, right? We had a good time this weekend, right? We were just meeting new people everywhere we went. And it opens up, we talked about last week about these artificial intelligence experiences that we're having because of the people that we're syncing up with through our smartphones. Through our, television conversations you have in your house, you start seeing commercials on television for that thing. you go on vacation and you come back and the place you just came from, every time you look around there's a commercial for that place you just came from. So if you want to change how you're being guided, you're going to have to change your circle up. You're going to have to add new people into your circle. So I advise you, don't go meet psychos or whatever. Don't get yourself put in nobody's trunk. That ain't what I'm telling you to do. Don't just go picking up strays. But when you have a chance at all, go, just engage people that you wouldn't normally engage in conversation. And you never know what kind of friendship you have. Now you have Instagram, so you can just say, hey, what's your Instagram? You don't have to ask somebody for their phone number. The weirdness of that is going. You don't have to ask for their email. Just, hey, what's your Instagram? And that's what I do. And I've been increasing my reach just by doing that. And I've been meeting some really cool people. And that's how you change your conversations and your experiences. You just add new people. Don't be so closed off to people. If y'all have nothing in common, that's better. Because now you can teach them something, they can teach you something. But guess what? Pain is always going to be a common denominator. And everybody walking the face of this earth has been through some sort of pain. So you have more in common with people than you think. So I would advise you all, this weather's getting nice, you meet people in parks and stuff like that. Meet new people. Expand. Grow. That's what you're supposed to do. And that way your conversations on the phone change. Ain't somebody whining about being broke all day long or whining about their man or whining about stuff. So that's my advice for you. Y'all like that?
Yes.
Good.
You like it? Because you always meet new people, especially being a car dealer.
Yeah, I meet new people every day. I just met a new person today.
Yeah, it feels good, right? Have refreshing conversations, right?
Yeah, and you never know what you're going to get from the conversation. Yeah, you just gotta be open, I guess, because you never know if you're gonna see them again. You might not ever see them again,
Yeah.
but you can take something from that conversation that
That's
you had
right.
and apply it
That's
to,
right.
better yourself.
It's in this book. I write about it in the first book.
Yeah.
Friend in Your Pocket Conversations 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Go buy the book, Amazon. Hit me up in the DM, but buy the book. It's in there. I believe in that. A friendship can be 10 minutes or it could be 10 years. It doesn't matter. You meet people who spark up something, because wherever you're at, you have something in common, right? If you're in the supermarket with somebody, you got food in common. You know what I'm saying? If you're in the welfare line, y'all got welfare. DMV. You got something that y'all can talk about right off the rip. Y'all having a common experience, a shared experience. So especially with how rapidly the world is changing, it's going towards that. So never miss an opportunity to make a friendship.
Like the people we met this week.
Yeah, Oakland, Bay Area, my Bay Area bays. They were so cool, right? And I've been talking to them every day. Whether it's liking, whether communication or going back and forth, exchanging pleasantries or whatever. And now we will be connected forever, or unless they block me, which I hope they don't do, but it happens to me often, so it will be okay. But yeah, so that's how much time we got? What's that?
28:20.
Ooh, that's good.
9 minutes.
So when they see us, I know I've talked to you about the movie before. Please keep it in rotation. Keep it trending on Netflix. We had the pleasure of meeting Corey Wise this afternoon. He's so pleasant. He has such a heavy spirit, and he has a lot to say. And so the Central Park 5 story goes way beyond even what you see on the movie. I mean, they can only put so much. So just keep those guys in your prayers. And remember, before you pass judgment on people, to know all the facts. Because people swore that they were guilty, and they weren't. People wanted them dead. We know who that was. You had someone who actively lied on, and I want to end it like this because I want to talk about, what's her name? The Fairstein lady, the prosecutor in the case. Yeah, she should be brought up on charges. It's no reason why that woman should be able to write books and go on with her life when she convinced a whole police department, a whole DA's and prosecution office, and a whole globe of Americans and people abroad to condemn 5 men for no reason. And she did that knowingly, falsifying evidence and just destroying these kids and coercing them to lie on videotape. It's a travesty. She should be disbarred. All her earnings from all her books should be divvied up and split between the Central Park Five. She should be banned and exiled and prosecuted to the full extent of the law, because guess what? If we would have done that, the average citizen, that's what would happen to us. And the prosecution and the DA's office have the moral obligation to uphold the law. Okay? And to argue and reason the law from both sides. And she knows that. And she didn't do that. She had an agenda. So she hurt women's rights. She hurt human rights. And she took away the pride or the trust that we have in the judicial system. And she empowered dirty cops to be and plant evidence on what you call innocent black and brown people. And when you have a filthy, dirty prosecution office, the cops always know they're going to be backed up. So we have to start at the head and then work our way down. So you start prosecuting the prosecutors, then maybe the cops will say, we ain't got no friends there. Ain't no power there. Maybe we need to do our job. So I just want to say that. I want to shout out the Central Park Five again, Ava DuVernay, and anybody involved in the project for bringing light to this, and all of their families, because these guys all have families who had to go through that with them. So before you condemn anybody, know all the facts, because you could be 100% dead wrong, and somebody's life is at stake. So that's basically how I want to end it. Happy Juneteenth. And it all goes together because the black experience in America is a hard one. Even when you're a little bit successful, even when you have the American dream, the 2.9 kids and the house, white picket fence and the dog, you're still black at the end of the day. Everybody else can hide, but we can't. We're still black. So I love being black. I'm proud to be black. And I support black businesses, and I put black people first. I love all people, but I have to love myself before I can love anybody else. And if you don't understand that, then I don't know what to tell you. So thank you for tuning in. And what?
We seen Shaft on Father's Day.
Oh my, yeah. Shaft. On whose day? He said
That was Father's Day.
Oh yeah, I think he said Mother's Day. He's had one more. Yeah, Shaft was really good. I thought it was going to be whack. I was kind of apprehensive about seeing it, but I was happy to see it, and I saw it with my raggedy daddy on Father's Day. And you know what he did? He slept the whole time. There was a message in there for him. Whoa. And he slept through the message. But I love my daddy anyway. But yeah, it was really good, and it just shows that men need their dads. And as a mother, sometimes you want to, keep your sons away from their fathers because their fathers aren't doing the right thing. They ain't paying their child support. But at the end of the day, they need their fathers. I'm just sorry. Every kid needs the other half of them. Right. And so if you can make that happen, make it happen. If he's late on child support payment, he's late on child support payment. The kid don't care about child support payments. And you're going to make it. Yahweh is going to provide a way for you to make it without a child support payment. She ain't never received a dime in child support. We made it. You know what I'm saying? And let your kids form their own opinions about their fathers. Don't dirty their minds up with your fathers are this, your fathers are that. And vice versa for men. Don't do that to the mothers. Your kids will grow up and they'll be able to formulate their own opinions about their parents. What you need to do is always let your kid know they're loved and supported, and whatever they want to do, they want to be around their other parent, you gotta let them do it. Unless it's an unsafe situation, then in that case I wouldn't recommend it. But if there's a way you can keep a father or a mother in a child's life, you do it, because they grow up and they turn into addicts. They turn into the people we were talking about earlier. They turn into the people that don't make it. And then they're struggling as an adult over some stuff that should have been resolved when they were little kids. And you don't ever want to be to blame for that. So whatever you can do to make your child feel supported, do that. Even if it, hurts you in a way. Even if you don't like it. But you're making a successful adult. Anytime you look at a child, just know that you're making a successful adult. That's your goal. That's your aim. Because one day you're not going to be here. You ain't going to always be here to hold their hand. So you want to give them the tools necessary so they can be a thriving adult. Anything else on this?
Oh, yes. Shout out to Goods, you guys.
Oh, Goods. Yeah, I did. I wrote that down. Goods destroyed Cassidy.
3-0.
And if you don't know what we're talking about Smack URL, formerly known as Smack DVD. Goods the Animal from the Bronx battled rap legend Cassidy from Philly, and Cassidy didn't win.
What the hell?
Yeah, it was bad.
He didn't make it.
It was bad. But it could have been worse. I think he actually could have hurt him more.
He could have.
Yeah, I think
Cassidy
Goods
just went
kind of
to
win.
Cassidy. His first round was 14 minutes.
Yeah, it's too long.
Too long.
Yeah, and then his last round was like another 8-10 minutes. He was talking nonsense.
Nonsense.
But anyway,
If you don't like cursing, don't watch it because very profane.
And we had a
However,
chance to meet him.
yeah, and we actually met Goods the day the battle came out, and we didn't know the battle was gonna come out. So Yahweh will always have you in great position. Nice guy. And I wish him all the best in his career and his daughter and all his endeavors. You know, nice guy. So the winning couldn't happen to a nicer fella. So shout out to Goods. BX baby. West Bronx representatives all day. We here. I did my chicken head stuff. So I love you all, whole nation. It was a mixed bag of stuff, but that's what life is all about. It's never gonna be like, straight. So it's gonna be like that. So, Tracy, did you have a good time?
What today?
Yeah, right now.
Very
Yeah.
informative.
Oh, cool. Did you have a good time?
Mhm.
I had an awesome time. Moose, did you have a good time?
Yes.
Everybody had a good time?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So everybody had a
Shout
good
out
time.
Lonnie
Lonnie Bunny! Shout out to Orlando!
Shout out to BD.
Yes, our deputy mayor and mayor of Hope Nation, London and Damaris. We love y'all and we miss y'all. And as we always say, I love you, Hope Nation. Mwah!